Prologue. Pemberley, St. Stephen's Day, 1811. A dream. Just a dream. It must be. Flashes. Too bright, and in much too quick succession. Flashes of times that had been, that might have been, glimpses of times that could never be. Recollections. Aching wishes. Impossible to tell apart. Had happened. Had not. No matter. The flashes are dizzying either way. Dark brown eyes, full of questions, full of promise and laughter. Her lithe and graceful form circling around him in a dance, at a country town assembly. Her hand in his, skin on skin. Her touch. Lingering touches. Lingering caresses, setting him on fire. Lips curled into a smile. Soft lips under his. A slender form under a russet cloak, in a blue haze. A slender form on a carpet of blue flowers. Enticing. Warm. His? Nay, not his. Not to be. Her form slipping from his clasp. Empty arms. Warmth slipping away. Elizabeth! Soft lips parting. A whisper. A voice shockingly familiar. Not hers. Oh no, not hers. Yet it speaks of her. It speaks to his very soul. Marry her. Go to it. You have my blessing. Fitzwilliam Darcy sat bolt upright with a violent start. His hand shot to the matted forelocks falling over his brow to push them aside, and his eyes darted over the moonlit room. He was alone. Well, what the deuce did he expect? He exhaled and rubbed his temples. A dream. Again. Of course. Blasted brandy, he muttered. And that confounded thing. He cast the counterpane aside and reached to open the drawer of the bedside table. The miniature was within, just where he had left it. Out of sight, but in no way out of mind. Not even in his sleep, apparently, Darcy sneered. Then his lips tightened. Lord above, this was insupportable. He gripped the small piece of ivory in his fist, as though he was of a mind to break it. He could not have, but it was not for lack of strength that the artifact was spared. He sighed, and his grip slackened. Bless her heart, he whispered. I cannot hurt her feelings so. She thought it would please me. Georgie, darling girl, if only you knew. He gave a strange sound, half sigh and half snort. Not her fault. Mine, for dwelling on it, and drinking myself into a stupor. And Richard's goading. All that talk about giving me his blessing. Wretched imaginings, he scoffed. But the sardonic twist of his mouth slowly fell. His countenance turned pensive, troubled, and his gaze drifted beyond the miniature he was holding, and became a faraway stare. He scowled and shook his head to force himself out of his trance. This is madness, he muttered. It cannot be. I know it cannot. Yet, 'tis too much of a coincidence. Same as last time. And there was truth in it then. The whispers grew barely audible, then faded into silence. Oppressive silence. There was no sound, no movement in the cold and empty chamber, just the steady murmur of his breaths, until the eerie stillness was broken by one word, quiet, hesitant, and almost childlike. Father?